Hello and we welcome back to Tier 3 as we come back for 11 restarts. Make sure everyone's on the right tyres, I believe. I think that's correct. I'll have to check after the race to make sure everyone's starting over on the tyres they started on. But for now, we will concentrate on the race itself. Pirlo and Fessy disqualified already, so we're starting on cold tyres. Should we not be hitting each other? The how they've hit each other because that's on P8 P10, so it shouldn't be next to each other. But we are back after the restart. Maldi on pole. He currently needs shit. Artem in second. Pete in third, Mazepin in fourth, Lucas fifth, Argus sixth, Joshua P7, Pirlo P8, Alpha P9, Fresh down to P10 after that 5-second bridge penalty, but we cannot give him a. We can't just put him back to P5 because there's been no investigation. We haven't got time to do any investigations. So, obviously, let's try to put him down to P10, but should not be doing that position in the first place. So, now all these positions will be the same. So, stop his restart. Maldi will be sending the lead away, doesn't know how to do for me. But hey, this does mean that everyone will have fresh air tyres, so it'll be a little bit easier for the top 10 who did start in those races. There might be some later pit stops than we might have been expecting, because obviously those tyres are, well, I'll say fresh, so it'll be fresh after this, probably this after this lap. Maldi's he always looks like drifts around there. But yeah, as the grid forms up, Artem made a big gap to Maldi. Maldi had to be sitting on grids for a long time because Maldi went really quick out of that last corner, and everyone's really late coming in compared to everyone else. But luckily, everyone else is pretty much bunched up quite a lot. So, yeah, Mr. Buffalo disconnected. Well, just at the lobby, as I literally got into the session as we loaded it up onto the track, and he disconnected within about a few seconds. So we tried to get him back in, but finally, after a bit of sourcing out and rejumping the grid up, we are back, and as the last cars are forming up onto the grid, it's giving me a bit of a break on the commentary side. But now it is 4 lights, 5 lights, 5. Is it glitch start? No, it is a glitch start. No, okay, that's a very anticlimactic start, and I've had a good start by the Alfa Romeo, but it's a terrible start from Maldi. He's lost 3 positions already, he's lost 2 positions already, and he's already down to P3. Maldi's going to be charging around the outside now. He's gone to find. He's getting pushed, and he's going contact. There's been contact with somebody else, not sure who but you've got to be careful, watch out, there'll be no damage possible. Might be damage to cars. Yeah, we need to be careful here. There's definitely some front wing touch by Maldi there. There might be some contact, and there might be some damage. I'm not sure whether there is going to be any damage to that car. He definitely hit the front of someone with his car. But we continue. And that gap to Maldi's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's already up to 8 tenths. I think the Maldi might just be driving a bit badly. I don't know. Right, but we've got Fresh and Ivo side by side, but this is not the style what Maldi wanted. Really, McLaren's lifting off. Be careful, doesn't get any dirty yet. Oh, Maldi's gaining a low time, but he's wide. So you've got to make sure you don't do too many. Then you will get a warning for doing that. Penalties will be a factor. Tier 1 was actually Tier 1, Tier 2 were very, very clean on their penalties. Almost no one got penalties that race, apart from maybe 1 or 2 drivers. But Tier 3, I'm hoping for something like that. But obviously not miracles in Tier 3 naturally. Artem sets the way. Then we've got Hero Lucas in the pits, must have damage on the start, so somebody must have braked a bit late. So one problem being on the outside, you get pushed off sometimes. Instead of being inside, you have that inside line, and then you can get round the outside, and then because you have the outside, you effectively can't be pushed off at the exit because, well, you can hold your line, but the person on the inside will have to be squeezed. Generally, the better line for that one is the inside line, naturally. But yeah, that's it. This is your race so far. Mr. Buffalo still not joined. Alright, that's 875, so it shouldn't be that quick. To be honest. So they'll drop those AI down. As Maldi got really close to Mazepin and Artem here. The 2 Russians leading the way. It's currently a Russian 1, 2 and 4. With a Russian speaker in third. As Maldi knows to be a Russian. And that's going to be another corner cut there. Maldi can't keep doing those. Artem's gone wide. Maldi probably on his second warning there. That's twice now seeing him track his end or corner cut. He needs to be careful here. You can't afford to do another one of them now for the rest of the race. It's only lap 2. Yeah, quite easy to get warnings around this track. It's a very easy track not to get warnings. It's also a very track to get not to get warnings. If you know what I mean. But it's so easy just to go a bit too far. And Maldi's already drained us. Oh, that's fresh. Sorry. Sometimes when you have two Alpines, you know, do actually on. R10's doing very good on his ERS management. He's using it very efficiently. Mazepin not using it well as well, but Fresh is using it a lot to try and keep up. It's not really broken up so far. So quite close in terms of the line. DRS is now enabled, so these people that will have DRS coming into this next DRS straight. He's looking very good right now. Despite losing pole, it's not stopped him. But he needs to be careful on those penalties. We've seen him go wide twice. Going down, DRS is enabled for Mazepin. R10 naturally being the first car on the track, naturally won't have DRS. So he'll be a bit under fire. He's gone wide there. He's got away with the warning. He's got another way with it. That's 3 times now he's gone wide. Always seems to catch them. Are very good at catching who's going wide and who's not, and what actually gives you warnings. Last corner, if you go wide the last corner, you want to send yourself even more wide to avoid it. Because if you try and come back on track very early after going wide, then you might get a warning. But if you go wide later, you can get away with it. Fresh sets the fast up of the race. Right behind Maldi, as they've all got DRS on each other. Mazepin's making that move. DRS is just so powerful around here, especially with the high downforce we run in this game. DRS is a bit more powerful and slipstream as well. Breeze Bastion, it's so happened to me in the Bivering yesterday. I overtook him, and he re-overtook me, and I re-overtook him again. All in split within 3 laps of each other. But DRS is so good down down that main straight. It's quite powerful. Oh, and that's caught definitely into barriers. That's Pete. Looks like he's got away with damage, but he's got a lot of gravel on his tyres. He'll watch out for the Alpha and Mare. He's going to be pushing him down there, but he might get damaged if he's got damage. He definitely got damage after that. Fresh just all over the back of Maldi, but Fresh is putting out an overtake here. Fresh. Oh, it's a safety car. And that is for Papa Devils is out. That's the second chicane, and there's a full core safety car. I wonder what people are going to do. I wonder if people are going to pit for hards or mediums, or if they're going to stay out. If people watched the stream yesterday, we had a safety car at a very similar point, and we saw medium runners do take those tyres to the end. Let's see what everyone does. Mazepin stays out, Artem stays out, Maldi, they all stay out. Artem, oh dummies, was going to go into the pits and then decided to stay out. I'm surprised no one has decided to pit as my headset decided to beep. If my headset dies any time in the next half an hour, then, well, that's me over. Well, I can put it on charge, but if I do put my headset on charge, then we will have some buzzing. I don't want. And everyone's going to the hards, which is a sensible choice. And that's what you put wing the feet, as like I said before, a set of hards. They don't think the mediums can get to the end, but I think if you put the mediums on now, they can go to the end. Especially with the safety car, you can do about 23 laps on those mediums, 22 laps, especially with the safety car. That will definitely help. But the hards is definitely the safe tyre. But like I said, I think track position might be a bit too powerful. Everyone's still pretty much on fresh tyres. If you do want to pit, the only way you want to do that if you're already at the back of the grid. But if people like Mazepin or Artem, Maldi, you can't afford to make that pit stop, because that could sacrifice you, because that grid, that natural field spread is going to hurt you, and because your tyres are only about 3 or 4 laps younger, most of the people on softs anyway, naturally, it's going to be difficult to overtake, especially in this terrain. So, but I'm not expecting people like Pirlo or Pete to really do much on those hards anyway, because they'll be so slow coming to the end of the race. They'll last very long, but they will be obviously naturally very warm and very slow on those, generally on those harder, slower tyres, and they'll be old towards the end of the race, so mediums at the end, and so much quicker. But this will extend the Stuff's tyres a little bit. I think this will favour people more like Jules and Viper, who can take those mediums a bit further and make that pit stop into softs a little bit later than they want to. But it's funny if you want something like soft and mediums in general. So it's quite naturally No dummying to the pits. Too late now. Everyone's bunched up. More dummying. I'm not sure why you want to be dummying, but Willie is into the pits very, very slowly. Gonna go on to set out hard, I believe. Yep, set out hard. Again, I just. This is why it's actually quite useful when you watch past streams. We've seen a lot of drivers yesterday, including himself, go for the hard initially, then switch onto the mediums because I think, oh yeah, the mediums can be that long. I did it myself. I think it was about 3 or 4 the safety car came out. Put on a set of hards, then I did a lap on them, and then came back in for certain mediums. I think that was the case. I know there wasn't the hards, so the few laps on them. There's another safety car in the way. But the mediums I think can do about, they said they can do about 22, 23 laps. And the safety car will definitely help. Looks in the meat sauce, but the undercut, I believe, is quite powerful around here. Because naturally, you will be out in the fresh air. But it's not that, you'll be getting out of that DRS train. But if you're stuck in the DRS train, but you're using it to keep up with everyone, as soon as you make the undercut, if you're naturally a bit of a slow driver, then you would be actually lose time. But if you've got the pace, then you've got better pace than the first place, the person ahead of you, then you do make the undercut. Then you will. But I believe it's all Alpha and Lucas have contact, I believe, and Alpha had a penalty. I'm surprised Lucas didn't pit, to be honest. 3 laps on those mediums now, 4 laps on those mediums. So I'm surprised he didn't pit again, because I think Emily was going to get to the end. It was very, very harsh on tyre wear. But safety car is in this lap. Mazepin will lead the way. For the restart, there will be no DRS for the next 3 laps, which stops any sort of overtaking, pretty much. As he's gone already, he's gone before the last corner. And I think Maldi's been caught out a little bit by it. Fresh is all a bit behind him, but luckily there's no DRS yet to catch anyone now. DRS are being spammed as everyone's trying to stay off everyone else. That makes complete sense. Alpha's got 5 second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. I'm not sure why he's coming to pit, so maybe he has some wing damage after that contact. As generally the person behind generally gets the penalty for some reason when you do have those wing contacts under the safety car. Mazepin looking close, but no movements. He's a bit too far behind to make a move. As the top 4 pull away. Seems to be in a different calibre compared to the rest of the people in the top 4. As the greater train's a bit behind Hybrid, who's struggling to keep up with the rest of the leaders. Already 2 seconds behind Fresh already. Hybrid, naturally, not going to help because he's seeing as DRS gets enabled, Dross will be all over the back of him. This is why you don't want to be using too much DRS right now. Naturally, because then you won't be having to use the fender. That was a poor line by Hybrid. All over the back of Hybrid's Fresh, all the back of Maldi, but again, overtake done. Dross using his overtake to overtake Hybrid, but Hybrid's going to stay behind him and stick with him, and then when he comes back into DRS, he'll re-overtake him. But I think he might have one of those things where you overtake them and then they re-overtake you with DRS. One of those races from Monza. No DRS yet. If I was him, I'd just stay behind, but he's got a bit of slipstream, so making the move into turn 1. He's going to break later than him, yes, he's got softer tyres. And he overtakes the Dross for P6. It's only going to hurt the gap in front though, as they are very, very close right now. Penalties will be crucial, I think, for this race, especially for this victory. Still training around to make sure I avoid those deadly curves. Has been under a lot of pressure of Artem. Always got a bit wide. Don't want to be doing that too often. For purely on lap times. And well, talk about penalties. Maldi's got a penalty. I did say Maldi had a couple of warnings already. And he's already covered up a penalty. And that, to be honest, I think that could be Maldi's race over already. That penalty is going to hurt him for the rest of the race now. I did say penalties are so crucial around here, especially when everyone seems to keep up with everyone with the DRS trains. And you can't afford to keep doing that. Maldi's got to hope now that everyone else gets a penalty. But you can't guarantee that. Pushing the accelerator too early on there. I did say to put the accelerator a bit earlier, but he's doing it too early. And Fresh is all over the back of him now. Fresh is all over the back, but Fresh is already low on the RS here. And it's going to hurt him. And he's down the ARS. Only going to hurt him. And it's getting very close between those two Alpines. There's contact consistently. Maldi's going to keep the inside line. And Fresh is going to push Maldi wide. Maldi's got the outside line, but Fresh with low ERS is going to push that overtake to the limit. Maldi's not using any. Maldi's going to let him pass. But with that red light flashing light, Maldi's going to come back at him. But Fresh is still using the overtake. Maldi had to pull off there. But that's going to make a big gap to the drivers in front. Fresh started P10, he's already been in P3. It's been a good start for Fresh and Maldi. He's lost 4 places now from his pole position, and he's also got penalties to carry. So, with the penalties, it's so crucial around here, especially since everyone keeps very close to everyone. It's one of those tracks, unfortunately. You do not want to be getting penalties out. Which hurt you, multiple positions. Very, very easy to do so. I know Fresh is not somebody to get penalties. But okay, that red light's flashing in Mazepin's car, and that's going to hurt him down the straight, that is. Naturally going to lose time, but with that slipstream, that DRS is going to help him stick with it. Having a bit of a slide. It's just like everyone's locked in position now. No one can make much of a move. Artem's the only person who can really make any sort of movement. Artem's got so much ERS to play with. It's just staying behind Mazepin and just saving that ERS. He's turning off his DRS very early. Back up to power, getting very close. Iber's got re-overtook Drulos, and they've got their own little battle now. They're pulled away from everyone else. Drulos on the mediums, Hybrid on the softs. Drulos will pit, oh, Hybrid will pit earlier, so that's when Hybrid does pit, Drulos can try and drive his own race after that point and catch up to the top 4, as his mediums slowly come into play compared to those softs. Lap 10 now, so the softs are starting to come off. That's why by Drulos. Bit of grapple on these tyres, and there's a crash, I believe, at the back. I think that'll be a Haas. That's risky Buffalo. No, it's not. It's Viper's got a penalty for multiple warnings, but I think there might be some collision there with Matador, possibly. There's definitely some sort of kerfuffle, as the baby from P7, it seems to be a bit more spread out at the back. Maldi's losing touch of those top 3. He needs to keep it clean. He can't afford to keep making mistakes. And a lot of them are dipping into the pits already. Fresh is pitting. Maldi has to go on for another lap. He's going to use that DRS advantage. Now, you've got to punch it. You've got to absolutely all the overtake you got to try and get an overtake work. He's got that DRS down the straight, so he's got that to help him along the way. They won't have that pleasure. Well, certainly the fastest driver, the top driver, won't have that. Maldi charges along, he's got to push now, he has to absolutely push, he's got to use that overtake, he's got to gain as much time as possible. But these are very, very early pit stops, despite being a safety car. But it's an undercut, it's powerful around here, and they all need to cover each other off naturally. Maldi being behind his teammate, he's had to go on for another lap, but I don't think he's got a gap behind him, so he's not going to lose any time from undercut. So, Hybrid was the one behind him, so naturally, Maldi is safe to lose in any positions. And there's somebody in the gravel, I heard that. Somebody just dipped the tyre in the gravel. Easy to do. Pete's up right that front wing damage on the hard, so he's up into P6. Like I said, he'll be struggling towards the end of the race, naturally. With more worn tyres, and harder tyres to be in fact. The problem is now, they're all the way back now on P11. They've done their pit stops, so they've got decent gaps in the next car in front. Maldi is going to keep on going. Now he's pitting, just don't speed in the can't afford to speed in the pit lane, it drops it down nicely. Hybrid goes on for another lap. He wants to stretch his tires out a little bit longer. Wants going to be a little bit later. See where Maldi comes out compared to the rest of the grid. Just on board with Mazepin and Artem here. Artem's working very close to Mazepin. Maldi's getting his tyres changed now. He's coming out his pit box roughly about now. There he is, just seeing him. And he's already getting overtaken. Look how much gap, look how much time he's lost. Maldi's lost about 3 or 4, 5, 6 seconds possibly. Maldi's lost so much time. What's happened there? I think Maldi's might have a front wing change. I think Maldi's had a front wing change. That's why he's lost so much time. I think he's had a front wing damage. That whole session. I did say he had some contact with somebody. Now it's time for him to chase. He's got one lap fresher tyres. He's got a brand new front wing. So if Maldi was able to keep up roughly with them during that time, Maldi's got some strong pace to look forward to. But they've got the trouble. Mazepin and Artem are in traffic, so it's just going to help Maldi here, and Artem can't do anything about it. Just stop behind these guys, and it's going to hurt them a lot. They will have DRS, so you will have to breeze past them. Willie's going to be an absolute duck here. It's an absolute breeze past. So fresh, he's not biting it. Oh, he's going to keep it inside. Fresh cuts in front of him. And it's not what he wanted. Willie's got a lot more worn hard. Roscoe's got a penalty. And there's yellow flags. There's a retirement for KTM Viper at the last corner, and there's a full safety car. And if this could be hybrid. Oh, hybrid's past the pit lane. Hybrid can't pit. And there's been some more kerfuffle at the back. What will the medium runners do? It's actually very plays. A few people are pitting. It's too early to go onto the softs, I think, to be honest. It's just too early to go onto the softs. Hard tyres for Saint. That makes absolutely no sense. I'd have left. I spent set of mediums for Pirlo. Makes sense. Medium tyres, obviously the dominant tyre to be on at this point. Maldi will come back out here. Just get ahead of everyone that did pit. Maldi will catch up, so he will lose gain that time back. But I think, imagine if he just stayed out another lap. He's got another speeding in pit lane. Hybrid. Actually, you can still make it. You can still make it work actually, because he came out ahead of the safety car. So I think if Hybrid and Duras pit, Duras will have to go onto the hards. The softs will be a bit too far, to be honest. And Duras and Hybrid go onto the mediums. I think these can come out back in the lead here. And the same with Lucas. Lucas doesn't actually have to pit again. But it'd be stretching his mediums a long way, despite being two safety cars. But these will naturally pit. And Richie Buffalo's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Hybrid pits, Strauss pits. Strauss, I'm presuming, have to go onto their hards. You can pit again, go and set mediums towards the end, but that's restricted to that position. And it is a set of softs. It's going aggressive. He's going for those set of softs. He's going to take that risk. I mean, 14 laps on a set of softs with probably a couple under the safety car. It's a big risk, and he has come out ahead of Maldi here. Maldi's going to be behind here. He's going to be ahead of Lucas, but he's going to be behind Hybrid. This is going to be absolute commiseration for Maldi. He's lost 2 places because of that safety car. And it's just so unfortunate. If Maldi, he had front wing damage, so you had to pit in this next time he had the chance. And well, if Maldi did actually stay out, he would have probably came out, well, with a front wing change, he would have still probably came out P4. So it's been really unfortunate for Maldi with that safety car. That's really, he's caught up to the people, but he's now behind Droz and Hybrid. So you could either still be 6 seconds behind the leaders, but not have Droz and Hybrid in front of you, or you could have Droz and Hybrid in front of you, but you've caught up at the back of them. I think this will help, but it's not going to help for Maldi with this penalty though. And same with Hybrid. It's going to affect them because everyone else is going to be right behind them, but never tier 3. There's quite a wide range of drivers here, so I'm expecting quite a quick field spread. We'll definitely be out for another lap at least. We'll wait for Alpha, he's about 5 light years behind. He's like 5th pit stop of the race. If I was Alpha, I'll pit again, get rid of that penalty. I'm a bit frazzled how you get a drive-through penalty under a virtual safety car conditions. Can't just. Anyway, you do that if you just speed into the delta for so long, but you've got 15 seconds to react. Like, come on. I'm not sure how people do that, because it always baffles me. Is he's retired? Don't know why he's retired, to be honest. Probably doesn't drive through it and he's given up. Oh, maybe he's crashed it actually. I think he's crashed it. He has crashed it! I'm not sure if it's on purpose. Oh, talk about crashing Alpha's taking the loose racing line there. Taking the Damon Hill, right? This time he's not actually losing positions. But doing the lap in the safety car as wait for Alpha. to catch up about 5 light years. I'm just hope my headset can last this rest of this race, otherwise I'll have to put it on charge, which means there will be a bit of a frazzle. But I think a bit of frazzle is a bit better than no commentary at all. So, yeah. Anyway, let's pin these away. Hybrid's got a lot fresher mediums compared to these guys. 3 laps to be exact, maybe 4, because honestly the tyres can be a bit weird in terms of they don't actually count the first lap. But their tyres, everyone else, they got these guys are on there on their 5th lap on their tyres, so they've done 4 laps on their tyres. Hybrid's only done like 1, so Hybrid's got 3 laps fresher tyres. I'm just going to get past Dross on the set itself, so that's going to be difficult. That is going to be difficult. Could be another safety car later on, we don't know. But it's so annoying when you see those penalties. I feel the pain sometimes. Having a penalty when you've got this close, it's so irritating because you could lose like 4 or 5 places under those penalties. That's why you can't afford to get penalties. Sometimes it's better to just cost yourself a few tenths and not get a penalty, then try and keep this to a few tenths, then lose 3 seconds because of a penalty. It's more easily get lost by getting penalties than losing a little bit of time on track. And they've gone. Good restart. Arten's kept it close. Fresh keeps it close as well. It's a good restart, but there's a big gap to him and Hybrid. Hybrid's having to use a bit of overtake, but no troubles yet. Melody making a move on Dross already. Melody's not messing around here. He's made a move on Dross already. He's just going to make sure he keeps it clean to the braking zone, which he has. Hybrid's had a poor exit, and Melody's going to be licking his lips, trying to find a way past Hybrid, but I don't think he can make a move out. Hybrid's using his own overtake. Surely Melody can get in the hint. Not going to overtake soon, Melody. He's trying to make the move. He's trying to do something here. He's going to go round the outside, and there's a second chicane. Hybrid's gone for the penalty, and he's pushed him off. Hybrid's into the gravel, but I believe that was a clean overtake. But I think Hybrid got bounced on the curb, and that's how he lost it. But I don't think Melody really pushed him off on purpose. It was a clean overtake. He had him on it around the outside. Maybe could have gave Hybrid a little bit more room, but I think Hybrid hesitated there, cut the corner, and spat himself on the curb. So there might be a bit of an investigation there, but Melody's gone. Oh, and Alpha May's gone to the side of him, and Melody's spun by himself, and Melody's going to be absolutely irritated by that, and Melody's down to last. That's just make sure that they did say you need to stay off that curb at the right-hander at Scarberry, and he's touched it, and he's spun round, and that's hurting now for the rest of the race. And there's more yellow flags, and now Melody's now down with Hybrid. And it's a battle we're looking so much forward for, and it's gone down the drain. Melody's rear tyres are absolutely destroyed now after that. He's going to look up for another safety car now. There's only 10 laps left. This race is actually going pretty quickly, in my mind. But do you know what else is also going quickly? It's my headset battery. I tell you, safety car is not helping. There's a yellow flag at sector 1. It's Hybrid, I believe, to span it again. Sneeds versus gone from. Oh, that's Willie. That's Willie spinning actually. Hybrid's in the pits. Onto a set of softs, got front wing damage on, I believe. And yeah. Hurt so much to see all these commiserations going on, all these mistakes. Lucas understeering a lot. Talk about understeering a lot. Pirlo's off the track. Off the track is Pirlo, and that's an easy overtake from Matador. Reed's passing on a set of softs, so softs for the actual ready. Pirlo's used a lot of overtake during this race so far. Saying that's hard, it's not the best race tire to be honest. It's the easy ones and mediums. But trying to keep it clean. Melody's all over the back of Alpha already. Melody's looking to try and get past people. He's quick enough, he's making the overtake, done it, oh, he's lifting off. DRS is enabled. I don't know why Melody's lifted off there, because there isn't actually any DRS yet. So he's made a big mistake there, but actually not overtaking him. Alpha's slowing down. Why is Alpha slowing down? Alpha's thought, Melody's faster, I'll let him through. I think that might be one of the frustrations, I think. I'm a bit confused actually by that. Oh, Melody's limited damage limitation from Melody now after doing that mistake. Dross, no softs, looking very competitive. He could be on to winning this race here. If you can get those softs to work and make them to the end nicely, he has potential, but he's got to get past them first, which is not easy in a sort of DRS training situation. He's got to use those tyres as an advantage rather fresh. Try and get over the grip advantage. Maybe try and get into turn 4 where there's no DRS and you can get more an advantage. Fresh is always quite harsh. He's overtaken. Now he's got another penalty. So penalty is such a big thing around here. You can't afford to get any. But Dross has just got a penalty, and that could hurt him, and that's his race victory, possibly out the window. Looking to get past Fresh. Fresh is low on overtake, like he usually is. Dross is up the inside. There's contact, and there's contact. He's round. It is a clumsy move. It was never going to happen, and he's also round. And there's more kerfuffle happening, more contacts, and there's just nothing there yet. But no safety car. Dross is round. And an overtake peaked up into P4 with an overtake on Lucas, a simple DRS overtake, nothing too complex. God, I wish I was in this race right now. I'll be breezing past everyone. A bit of racing, a bit of a curve there, Matador. Yeah, you do not really get penalties. It's a fact you can't afford to get penalties because a lot of people tend to avoid getting penalties around it, but it's also because the track you can easily get them. But it's also easy to not get them. And Maldi's all the way back at Pirel's on the parallel exit, and Maldi's just drove himself off the grass. That's not what you want. And Maldi's sliding in the place, he's got grass in his tyres, he's drifting his place around there. Maldi's setup looks a bit on the drifty side, I can tell that through qualifying. He's looking very on the front end. Car slides to get around the corner, DRS. Easy overtake in the end for Maldi. But instead he's got 2 penalties to look after, so I think he's going to have to settle for P7. Oh, you don't want to hit that curve, that's another warning. You can't be doing that. You have to be so accurate around there. Alpha's got his like millionth penalty this race. My headset's barely making this to the end. I bet that toilet that Maldi needs is looking more appetizing for him. I was talking about appetizing. Pirel's into the pits, and as he gone to the pits, he's spinning the pit lane. Why is he in the pits for? Has he got damage? He must have damage. He has. But I'm not sure why, because you're going to lose more time being in the pits than being out on the track on the front wing, and that is not good. Oh, by Saint. It says it's Sant or Saint. Depends how you say the A. But he made a mistake there, 62, that's not going to help him. Ibis has a slap on a fresh set of softs. Maldi's not on the back of Matador. Matadors tend to be very good on his penalties. He's not the quickest driver in the world, but he's very good on his penalties. He never seems to get them. He's got him in a lot of positions before. That late safety cars, Matador's like the only one without a penalty, and he just overtakes like 5 cars with the penalties. But talk about overtaking, Maldi breezing past Matador. Maldi's a lot faster than Matador. Even on the beating tyres, you not want to be in the curb. You can't be hitting those curbs, Maldi. You can't not touch the curbs on this track. The only curbs you can really use around here is really Lesmos. That's really it. Everywhere else you just do not want to touch. Or you can use a bit of the first left-hander at Scari. Apart from that, yeah. And Pete makes a big dive bomb. He's broke himself though, as Lucas has to go around the outside. He's got on the curb, but he's made a mistake and Hyden's got a penalty. Not something you want this late on in the race. As looking at it now, I think that might be Dross. Might have to settle for P6 now. To be honest, unless you can try and get some moves done, get past. But it's a big move. I think Dross is going to have to settle for P6. Looks like, and Maldi looks like to have to settle for P7. I think that's all they're going to get now. Dross would have been so much closer without that mistake in the penalty. To be up with these P3s guys. Artem is just not making any attempt to overtake him. These 3 Russians are, I believe, all good friends. I know Mazepin and Artem are fresh, but I know these are all 3 Russian. I believe they're all just working together. No one's making some sort of move or anything. Fresh has got no ERS at all, while Artem's got an absolutely full battery. and then you got Mazepin who's kind of in the middle, kind of managing his around like 50%. So you've got the normal, the saver, and the drainer. Like, and it's not even using DRS at R10. It's not even using it. He just thought, nah, I'm not making the overtake. I wonder if he's just going to try and do the move on the last lap. Then make the overtake, and then stick it, and then just, yeah, that's my victory. He might be leading the whole race, but it doesn't matter. It's the flat finishing result that matters. Maldi's got my base result. He's trying to draw us lap by lap by lap by lap by lap. Heat. And lucky to get past Lucas again. And these guys are swapping positions like consistently. It was like watching who it was now, but there was two people in Tier 1 that were consistently swapping positions by themselves. I don't know who they were. It's just two guys just swapping positions consistently. DRS switching each other, and this is actually helping them try and catch up. But the thing is, if they haven't got the pace for leaders, then they're not going to work out. But just DRS itself. Saying that, here Lucas just gained out 3/10 through there, and there's yellow flags. Yellow flags. Santa's out. And then, is there a safety car? There's a safety car! Safety car, another safety car, very late in this race. Will anyone, I believe, I think the leaders will probably be pitting naturally, and the leaders all are pitting. Everyone's pitting now. See what else does, whether they're going for track position or not. Is Maldi going to stay out? Ross has stayed out on a set of softs. Warn. Maldi's pitting. Why he's out. He's got a 6-second penalty. If he did stay out, he would be out in second place. Alpha's got another 5-second place penalty. Do you not know how to do the pit lane? Sorry. Oh, in the pits. Been held up a lot. Matador's in the pits as well for fresh set of softs. And there we go, my headset did die. I did say all the safety cars will has made my headset die, and if there is a bit of a frazzle, not much going to do about that. My headset has died, unfortunately. Now it's on charge while talking. I tried to leave it as long as I could, but unfortunately that's not the case. So there is a bit of a buzzy, fuzzy noise in the background. There's not much to do about that. Like I said, commentary with a bit of a buzzy noise is better than nothing at all. And now Maldi's behind Matador again. Stefanko's joined. Not sure why. And he's got 6 seconds of penalties, which is going to hurt him. I mean, he's not going to lose any positions from P8 because everyone else has got penalties behind him, or some, or less. But if Maldi makes any moves, he's most likely going to lose them all again because of that. That's also been very slow. I don't think he's wanted to catch up to us. Iber's left the session, or he retired ages ago. Matador's just not trying to wear his tyres out. I don't think he wants the safety car to come in as early as possible. But unfortunately, Maldi with those penalties, he's not going to gain any positions this race. If not, maybe lose some. So, and swapping places. Maybe it's a mistake by somebody, or I don't know, the illegal overtakes. Sure what happened there. But let's wait for the safety car to happen. It's unfortunate Maldi, but in a bit of a lap 1 incident that wasn't really his fault. His penalties probably led to his front wing damage, to be honest. Probably given his understeer, and I believe that's what front wing damage problem is. With the understeer, he obviously naturally going to understeer wide at some corners, which is going to make it go wide. I think that's what's caused that a lot of penalties on Maldi. The front wing has definitely not helped him. If I was Maldi, to be honest, I would have probably pitted under like the first lap or something. I would have pitted about lap 4 or something and went on to the mediums with the front wing change, then used the safety cars at the end. But then again, you can't predict safety cars. But most of the case, there is always one. You can't always predict things in your safety car, but sometimes you've got to take the risk. I think Melody staying out with the front wing damage is definitely hurting more with those penalties. Probably seeing a Pirlo. I think Dross has a few penalties himself. So, despite he might be on a sauce, but his lap offs are 9 laps old. So, he's gonna be a bit weak in terms of grip compared to these guys. His tyres are probably in about 40%. If I predict myself from experience. And of these guys on fresh softs, probably no more oil than about 5% worn. So, they're probably a good second lap faster compared to Dross. Like I said, Dross has got at least, I think he might have 2 penalties. He's gone early. He's trying to catch these guys as quickly as off the guard as possible. Matos had a poor start. Maldi's probably going to get past him early. He wants his second penalty to be less effective. He's going to make the move early and pull away, but he's going to go as fast as the people ahead of him going. He's going to hope that Pirlo, Matador, and Willie make this hopefully are slow so they can pull away. Big move on Matador, not making any prisoners. I think Melody's just going to try and get himself as far up as possible, and at least having to pride himself to try and making moves. Melody's always very good, and he's used that curve. You can't do that. Oh, that's going to hurt him. You just can't do that. And I think Melody's just trying to gain as much time as possible, but by doing so, he's lost more time by trying and gaining more time. That's really going to hurt him. There's no change in the grid. Drulos continues to take the lead. No DRS, there won't be any more DRS until this straight in 2 laps time. Mazepin looking all over the back of that Alfa Romeo, sorry. ERS should not be an issue with 3 laps to go. Oh, one has made mistakes there. And Artem gets through Mazepin. Fresh is alongside Mazepin now. It's all free for all now for these Russians. He's pushing him wide. He's making sure that he takes that 3rd place. Drulos a bit slow out of the last corner. Those worn tyres are definitely affecting him. Drulos is using the overtake. He's still using the overtake, but it's still slower. That slipstream is all he needs. Fresh with that slipstream is using a lot of overtake. He's going to have to settle down for P3, sorry. And oh, Lucas gone round the outside of Mazepin, and that's crucial. But Mazepin has been caught out there, staring at other people in front. There's lots of position. We can't afford to break early. And that's what happened. Now Mazepin, who was leading, is now down in P5. Fresh has got past Drulos, I've missed that. Drulos on those worn softs. A bit on the back foot, some gravel being picked up there. And then some collisions in the back there. And that's Pete round, Pete with no penalties. That's only going to help other people around him with penalties. At this point, Maldi is still going to drop down to P7 with that penalty. Seeing Dross, he's going to lose position on track and naturally on track with the penalties. Mazepin's got to find a way past Lucas here. And it is going to come up to the last lap of the race. Dross looks like he has the position in control, but not the penalty. Look at how much quicker they are. That's what 10 laps of fracture tyres do. Might be the same compound, but he's got no EOS now. He's used it all, and he's now a sitting duck as he dumps his overtake down the straight. Dross can't do anything about lack of overtake. That's why I use your EOS usage. It's so useful as Mazepin has got inside his contact, and Mazepin's round. He's gone too deep, and Dross is round as well. And that's 2 cars being absolutely dropped, and Dross has been caught in that. And Maldi's actually up into P3 now, but he's still got that penalty to take. Maldi's now into a podium position, but with penalties, Maldi will still drop at least down to P5 minimum. He's got to push hard as he can to try and minimise that damage of his penalties, as Fresh and Artem now are now the ones fighting for the last 2 places. Maldi's going to be pushing so hard now to try and pull away. He even might take a few penalties, and you can see Fresh's lights is flashing. And I think Artem might see that. Fresh's light is still flashing despite going through a scarring. And he's going to be sitting duck now. Artem is just going to dump it. He's not dumping it. Is he just giving the Fresh the win? Is he just giving Fresh the win? I think he is. He's just giving the Fresh the victory. Because he's not using any overtake. Looks like Fresh, surprisingly, is going to take the victory here at Monza. Arton will sit down for P2, Maldi P3 on track, but he will lose positions. He will drop to P5. I mean, P5 is better than I think you would expect it, to be honest, with those collisions at the end. And there's your grid, and that is your finishes in the end. I'll take my headset out now from charge. Stop the buzzing, if there is. Fresh is driver of the day, which to be honest, I can't deny. He did start P10 with the penalty, and he still got the victory anyway. It's a very good comeback from the Alpine driver. I'd about to say Renault driver there. Well, it still is technically Renault, but very, very good result in the end for the Russian. It's no Russian podium. I'm sure they'll be loving that champagne. I don't know, I'm pretty sure all of them are quite young anyway, so I don't think they can do that in real life. But Russia love their alcohol, and they're spraying it at themselves. I'm surprised they don't just be drinking it. Maldi actually got the fastest lap in the end, so Maldi will actually grab an extra point in the end there, despite that penalty. So Maldi didn't have that extra penalty. Maldi would have finished P4, I think. Yeah, Remo would have had a dross, but he will get that penalty. But he did start on pole, but unfortunately he didn't get points for being on pole position. Unfortunately, although that is a nice call actually by me. Penalty, point for the podium, pole position. But anyway, Fresh will win the race from P10, like I said. The wins of the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, not at Imola. Artem will sell P2, Mazepin P3, all Russian podium. Dross will be P4 in the end. I'm not sure if I think he'll still be happy with that, but I think he'll be a bit disappointed as well with the penalty, and that's been early in the race. Maldi will sell P5 in the end, despite where he was before. But naturally, I don't think he's going to be happy with that, despite his original position. But I guess I think he'd be better than P8, I would guess. Mastor will sell for P6. These penalties, neck penalties, always helping him there. Lucas in P7. Pete will be P8. Willie P9 in the end, despite being quite far back. Alpha having multiple 5-second time penalties. Will be P11. And then your DNS were Saint, Hybrid, Buffalo, and Viper and Papa Devils. That is your race for Tier 3. They unfortunately won't be any podium interviews. I don't believe the top 4 speak English. And well, I don't think he really wants to take a drive interview today. So that will be a race for Tier 3. Please welcome back for the Grand Prix of the Emilia Romagna. Oh, I don't know if I said that properly, probably haven't. Return for Imola next week for all 3 tiers. So come back for the first ever STB Imola race, and we will be back next week as usual for our usual schedule. So please come back, and thank you and bye.